Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, wherever you are, a good day to all of you. I would like to take this on again to welcome you as we are going through these episodes of COVID-19. Dear students, all along we have been going through a number of things which we have been discussing about since the time we went back for that COVID-19 holiday. Still today, I want us to continue from where we stopped last time with our discussion. Remember, we started a new topic called data communication and networks, and this topic was begun by Mr. Sechide sometime back. We have moved a step. So far we have gone through the beginning part of that topic called data communication and the networks. I remember in the beginning you learned a lot about the definition of what you call data communication. We have gone through the elements that make up what you call a data communication model. And per now, I have a belief that you are well equipped with those necessary requirements to see that there is data communication taking place among these devices. For us to go through the next part, or this part called computer network, the other part, the backbone or the background of this part called computer network. So within this part, we are supposed to go through a number of aspects. We shall learn how to link two or more computers in order to communicate to one another. So this part is helping us to get acquainted with that knowledge of knowing how to connect different computers with some other computers or even some other devices, so that computers are able to communicate to one another. So whenever we hear about the word a network, what you call a network, in a computing environment, there is a link of two or more devices that are communicating to one another. When you get a phone, you go through the process of communicating to another person. The two phones are communicating to one another, and they have formed what we call a network. So a network originates from that point of seeing two devices when they are talking to one another, up that point of observing thousands, millions of devices when they are communicating to one another. So let us move. We go through this part very well, as we are going to see on the screen. I know where you are. You can see that's going to be our starting point as we are going through. Okay. So let's go back a bit. So the topic is called computer communications and the networks. So what is a network? Must be definition for a network. Are we seeing that there on the screen? Now here there is a simple illustration of different devices. People, the network we are talking about, or we are going to discuss about, I've told you that this is a link that is established between the two or amongst devices that are made to communicate to one another. In that illustration we are seeing, we have laptops, we have computers, laptop, a phone, and those gadgets, all those devices are made. You see those lines There are clear connection points, those devices that helps them to communicate to one another. So there is a network formed there. So the network helps those devices to communicate to one another. Now, what is a computer network we are talking about? What is a computer network? Let us briefly go through the definition of what we call a computer network. What is a computer network? called clients. When we get such a setup, we call it a client server LAN. If the setup is within maybe a room, an office, where there is one computer that is established as a server that is in charge of managing others, that one is a client server local area network. Let me take it maybe as you are getting now. Let us go back, we go through them very well. I want us to we go back and go through the networks very well. So let us begin with what there on the screen you can see now the setup of the local area network. We are having a printer somewhere and some computers here, servers, and this side we have some other clients that they are called what? Yeah, in that, for example, that setup is now a client server because as you can see here we have servers, and the other side we have clients. So we are communicating to one another. There is a printer there. Now, features of a peer-to-peer. And I began with features because it is through the features that you use your knowledge to generate a definition that is attached to a peer-to-peer model. So we are saying peer-to-peer, this is a LAN where there is no computer assigned responsibility of managing other computers on the network. Type of LAN where there is no any computer that is assigned responsibility of managing network. That one is called peer-to-peer. And I'm saying that it is a network where all computers and networks are referred to as what? Peers. However, I want you to understand that the binding factor about peer-to-peer is that all computers or all devices that are connected on that network, they have what you call full powers to manage or to access files and information that is stored on another what? Another computer. We are saying it is not ideal for more than 10 what? Connections. In case you have very many connections on the network, it may not work out very well. So it's very good to think about it when you are using computers that or devices that are not going to exceed what? 10. I've used a very good statement. It is not ideal, meaning that you can find people when they are connecting more than what? 10, but it's not what? Good. Yes. So a peer-to-peer network, please state it very well. That's the type of LAN, or this is a kind of LAN where there is no computer assigned responsibility of managing others on that network or on that network. Type of LAN where there is no any computer that is assigned for responsibility of managing others on the network. Good, let us move on. I've tried to display a sample of what you call a peer-to-peer. You can see there is a gadget in the middle here, maybe a switch, or here we have a hub now. Remember Mr. Zigi talked about a hub. It actually has a concentrator for concentration point for cables that are coming from different devices. You see, I told you that these days people they are using switches instead of hubs. Why? Switches are intelligent. Why? They deliver packets to intended devices on the network. In Uganda we say hubs, they have what you call rugambo. Yeah? In case you are at computer A and you want to communicate to computer C, a hub will not display information directly from A to C. Signals will flow to this one, then to that one, until they reach the final destination. But in case if you use what you call a switch here, for it directs data packets directly to the intended what device on that network. Okay, we move on. Advantages, my friends, let us go through the advantages of what you call a peer-to-peer, a kind of setup where all devices that are connected, they have full powers. Let us go through the advantages. 1. A peer-to-peer network is simple to set up. Good. It is very simple to set up. Why? It does not require too much what? Configuration. Configuration are the setup process we go through to see that the network is now working. So there is a lot of knowledge that is involved in setting up those devices. The moment you establish those devices that you want to communicate to one another, you lay cables from one device to another. In case you are going to use physical media, they are just limited or few steps you go through on that operating system you are using on that computer of yours. Then you see the network when it is what? Working. My friend, we are saying it is not expensive to set up. Yes, it is not what? Expensive. And does not require a dedicated server to control the network. There is no need of struggling to think about buying the wire machine that is going to act as a server to manage the others. You don't think about that. Then that setup is ideal or very good for home and small businesses. Yes, for example, you have a computer lab, you can easily set up that network in an office there at home. It's very easy for you to do it. So it is a good one that is recommended for just small connections in case you don't have any devices you are going to use. Dear members, let us go through the disadvantages of what you call peer-to-peer learning model. Remember, we are going through the different kinds of learning, the different ways how we can set up on devices on what you call area network, the different ways how computers can be established on a local area network. Good. Let us now we go through the disadvantages of what you call the disadvantages of peer-to-peer. Now I'm saying it's not very secure as users connect freely without any substantial system restrictions. Yes. Since we have said that all devices that are connected, they have full powers to deal with information that is stored everywhere. Therefore, this network is not very secure. Any device can connect to another device. So in that way, it is not ideal for organizations because activities need a lot of what? Security. So in case the organization requires a lot of security over its information that is flowing through that network, it may be very hard for it to opt for that kind of setup. Since Miku is sitting at computer A can easily look for information that is available on computer C and I tamper with it. I can read to computer D and I go through all what's there. That is not very good. So security is not well managed on what you call peer-to-peer local network. Then its efficiency and effectiveness reduces as more computing devices get connected. As you connect more and more, that's why I told you in the beginning that it's ideal for devices that are not more than 10. In case you want to connect 20, effectiveness of the network is reduced. Find that your network will turn out now to be very slow. People are complaining, there is a lot of jam everywhere. The network is not working very well. Those things will come out. Why? Very many commands are flowing through the network and there is no any device that has control that please, even if you want to communicate to another, there is another who is still communicating. So that congestion will now turn out, hence making the network not to be very what? Effective. It is limited to very small organizations and homes or offices. Yes, in case you have very many devices you want to link up, it may turn out to be very hard for us to do it in what you call a peer-to-peer. Okay, we move on to the next part, my friends. Let us move on. Disadvantages. We have still the disadvantages. The system is not centralized, making administration what? Difficult. Since there is no full powers that are attached to a particular individual to control, administration is very hard. Managing that network is very hard. Because if we had one in charge, maybe in case of jam, the server may work out and try to remove those jobs. In case maybe we are using a print on that network and the result of jam, maybe you can use the server to remove all those jobs, and you see that the network is also able to work out. Here, since there is no full control, everyone has full control, there is a challenge with administering that network. Lack of security. Files can be accessed by anyone on the network. There is security issue. Talked about it. Okay. Move on to the second model. It's called the client stock server model. And I've told you that this network has one or two or three devices that are assigned the responsibility of managing others. Please, a type of network with one, two, or three, even more of devices that are referred to as what? Servers. So a server is that computer with a software. Yes, I'm saying computer with what? Software, not just a computer. Computer with what? A software that has responsibility, that is assigned responsibility of managing others, that are called clients. So other devices that are connected to that network, they are called clients. All those devices that are capable of functioning when they are connected on that network through getting commands from those ones that are referred to as servers, they are called clients. So if we have computer Z as the server, all others that are capable of functioning by getting commands from Z, they are called clients. So that's where I'm saying that therefore server is a software that manages network traffic, downloads and what? Uploads. So it's not a computer alone that is responsible for doing that work. It is a computer with a particular software designed to do that work. Okay, we move on. Setup, you can see the setup. On that setup, I have a laptop, a desktop computer. You can see laptop, desktop, and so on. But in the middle here, I have what you call a server. So all other devices, these ones, those computers, they can function through getting commands from that server. That setup is referred to as client server LAN model. Forms of servers. I want us briefly to go through those servers. There are many other servers. When we are going through the other topic of internet and World Wide Web, my friends, you remember I talked about a web server. Yes, a web server. Do you remember me talking about it? Yes. So a web server is all about that server that is responsible for managing requests for web pages. Every time we go on internet and request for information, we type in our browser as we are looking for that information. we are sending our request to a computer called what? A server. So that's the machine that has the responsibility of attending to requests from other computers over the internet. We also have what you call file servers. Yes, file servers can be established within organizations. This one are in charge of managing files, uploads and downloads on the network. Then we also have what you call application servers. This one they are in charge of managing softwares. Applications are softwares. So we can build with computers on the network whereby they have particular softwares they use. But those softwares, when they are accessed through what we call what? Server. And for you to use that software on that computer of yours called a client, you have to link through that software to the other server. So such servers are called application servers. Good. Let us move on and talk about the functions of servers. What are the special responsibilities that are assigned to servers? One, administration of client computers on the network. It's like managing all activities that are performed by the clients. It's the server. Management of security of files and applications. The information on that network is being managed and stored on that on that server. Likewise, the applications that are shared on that network. There may be some applications that have to be shared over the network. Those ones are also that controlled by the server. My friends, you also have what you call managing printing jobs or printer jobs. Yes. Scheduling tasks that are going to be handled by the printer. That's why we are able to print even if you are 100 individuals, then you can be able to use one printer. As you are sending commands, yes, the other server is managing them. Computer A is sending, computer B is sending, and so on and so on. And is able to assign according to which computer was the first to send the print job. Data banking or data backups, creating backups of our data, so that in case of any challenge to our data, it can easily be backed for future reference. Remember, we talked about data backups. So in data backups, data is stored on that server. In case of any problem, we can easily access it. Then last is what we call managing data uploads and downloads. Managing data uploads, sending data to that server, and also downloads requests from clients in case there is information they want to download. Managed by what you call the server. My friends, let us go through the advantages of client-server network model. Good. Members, remember we are still going through the topic called computer network. And today we are going through the different types of networks. So let us go through the advantages of what we call client-server network. Number one, we are saying it's more flexible as it can accommodate as many computers and devices as the users can afford. Yes, it's capable of accommodating a number of devices. Remember, one of the disadvantages we talked about the peer-to-peer that has a limitation in line with how many devices that can be connected. But here it's a matter of looking for communication devices, then you can be able to join as more devices you want on that network. Because of the server, we are saying, because of the server that is established, there is what you call centralized management of resources. Yes. It is very secure since the server provides what you call centralized control of resources. The printers, all other devices that are connected, they are all under control by that server. Information and so on and so on. All things that are on that network are under control and management by that server. Therefore, we should know that because of that, we are able to have control over all things, all activities that are carried out over the network. It's a very good advantage. It is what you call data and software updates and scalability. In case there is a need to make updates of our softwares, the moment you update the server, it is automatically, or there and then, all other devices that are connecting to that server will use what you call up-to-date software. Unlike in the other format where we are supposed to go on updating every device on that network. Here it's a matter of updating the server, full stop. All other things are okay. We are moving on. We are saying it is ideal for all sorts of organizations, small, medium, or large. You can be with 10 or 5 devices, then you use a client server. Even if you have 100, you can still do it. That's why we are saying it is ideal for all sorts of organization. Because the organization is very small, medium, or large, still all of them can be able to use that client server setup. It does not limit. We are saying what can be all the standstill disadvantages now. Remember, let us go through the disadvantages. Yes, the disadvantages of what you call client server. We are saying what can be on a standstill while the server is down or spoiled. In case there is a problem to the server, in case the server gets a problem, it is a clear signal, my friends, that that network will come to a standstill. Why? All other devices, when they are functioning, they get commands, they send their requests, and everything is channeled through that server. So any problem that is associated with the server, we shall see that things will not work out the way they are supposed to be. Why? The father of everything, let us use the mother of everything is now down. Yes. Then it is a bit expensive to set up and maintain. Why? Why is it expensive, people? You have heard me talking about things like switches. You can think about buying a switch to use that communication device. So every time you think about expanding that network, you have to buy some other communication devices that are going to help you in that process of adding some other. So in the long run, some are expensive. Talk about even the server itself. I've told you that the server we are talking about, for it has extra features compared to others that are connected, that are referred to as clients. Yes. The server I'm talking about, members, one, maybe computer A, B, C, D that are connecting to that computer Z. They have features like RAM of 2 GB. Yes. They have hard drive of maybe 500 GB. Yes. Processor, maybe it is of i3. And you find that the other server has to be with around maybe the HDD hard drive that is in terabyte to store more information that is used by others that are called clients. Talk about RAM, you find that it has RAM of 16 GB. I've seen, my friends. Talk about the processor, maybe it may be of i7. I've seen that. So the cost you have to incur to buy that server is more compared to other devices. So that one makes the setup to be what expensive. That's why I'm saying there. So services of an expensive professional administrator, expensive networking devices like what? The server and others. The other administrator, that individual, you have to be with an individual who is going to manage that server. Good. We move on to another part. Disadvantages still congestion in the network, because we connect very many, because the network has very many capabilities of allowing as a number of devices you want. At the end of the day, you may see congestion taking what place, because all those devices, they will keep on sending commands from that network. That's why I'm saying there, too many requests from clients may lead to congestion, overloading the network, making the server to break what? Break down. Yes. So in case you send very many commands, some of you could manage to do computer at ordinary level. Remember, at a certain time too, when we are in for neighbor exams, you could see that as people are printing, you find that you will see some others complaining that we have sent our co-work but it's not coming out because of too many print jobs that are sent to the server on which that printer is connected to. The server that has that printer fails to attend to all those duties, and that one is there because of very many what requests. Now we have talked about what you call the two kinds of LAN, and I have a belief that members, now you have learned that we have two ways of setting up what you call the local area network, and that one is called the peer-to-peer or client server setup. Now I told you in the beginning that we can set up a network using what you call physical means or wireless what means. So now let us briefly go through what you call the wireless LAN. The wireless LAN that is established through use of what you call a network that is established without use of what you call cables. That's why I'm saying there that in a wireless LAN model, computing devices interconnected using specialized networking wireless what technologies, such as what you call the broadcast radio and the cellular radio links. That's what I'm saying. We have technologies, people day after day we use them when we are linking devices in a wireless way, maybe when we don't know. Technologies like a Bluetooth, we have what you call infrared, but infrared existed before Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is the current technology compared to infrared. And I'm saying that in that connection, in a wireless way, we don't have cables that are used. It is a matter of getting or using a wireless technology that you have, then you link those devices and are able to communicate to one another through a number of technologies, such as Bluetooth. Today at home, I know people use Bluetooth to exchange files. You can get your mother's phone and yours, and there's a certain maybe movie you want to enjoy from your mother's phone, then you exchange files using Bluetooth. Yeah, there you have formulated what you call a network, and it is what you call a wireless local area network. That's why they are saying that wireless LAN is commonly used by mobile communication devices when they are communicating to one another. Now there's that part of what you call broadcast radio and cellular radios. I'm saying broadcast radios distribute radio signals over long and short distances, and cellular ones are designed for mobile communication. Okay. Now we have heard him talking about Bluetooth, infrared what? What is Bluetooth? They can ask you what is Bluetooth. You are busy there exchanging a video from your mother's phone to yours, and you are telling your mother, Mommy, I want to get that video. It is very interesting from your phone to my phone, but I am going to use Bluetooth. All of the sudden, your mom asks you, what is Bluetooth you are talking about? Yes, Bluetooth. We are saying this is a short range radio, there are short range radio waves transmission of data between paired Bluetooth devices. A short range, when you are defining Bluetooth, you have two words that should not miss out within your definition. One being a short range, and another one is paired Bluetooth devices. The communication to take place through use of Bluetooth, one, the two devices that are communicating should be able to, or should have Bluetooth technology. Then the communication should be available within a short range. That's why you can see there even I had to board the short range. Yes, this is a technology that allows short range radio waves transmission of data between Bluetooth enabled devices. How best can you do it? Very simple. It's a matter of going to the settings of your device, then you switch on Bluetooth. Even the other side of another device also you do the same. Then devices are always assigned names, so you make the two link to one another, then you will be able to see Bluetooth. Then you can now start the business of sharing your files. What is infrared? Still, I told you infrared existed sometime back before they developed what we call Bluetooth. So, but the mode of functionality is the same. Yeah, that's why you see here I'm saying that is a technology that allows close range radio waves transmission of data between paired infrared devices. The mode of functionality is totally the same for infrared and Bluetooth. But Bluetooth gives us what's called faster transfer compared to what we call infrared. Fine, my friends, I want us to move on to the next part. We have what you call in wireless LAN. We normally use what you call Wi-Fi. You hear about Wi-Fi. Yes, Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. Wireless fidelity. It's also a wireless technology that helps devices to communicate to one another. But following those standards, I've managed to list the IEEE. They are very important. They follow those standards when they are exchanging files. Let us people very fast go through the advantages of wireless networks. What are the advantages of wireless networks? In case you connect your devices using wireless technology, and another one is able to connect his devices using cables. What are the likely advantages? Advantages: one, mobility. Yes, if one has a device that picks the network, access or connectivity can be available throughout the area where the network is able to reach. So there is mobility in connection to the network. There is no fixed point that the cable cannot run from there to that side, therefore you cannot access that network. No. So long as you are within the access points of that network, then you are able to access that network. It's a matter of carrying your device to any point, then you are able to do it. Then the faster setup, we are saying it is very easy to set up. For example, here maybe at school, it's a matter of giving you our password. And when you are through with getting the password there and then, you are able to link to our network. So we don't have a number of things that you have to go through to connect to that network. That's why you have. So that's why I'm saying if your computer has a wireless adapter, locating the wireless network can be as simple as clicking to connect to the network. Now, if you come across a network without even a password, very simple. A matter of switching on your wireless access adapt on your device, then to identify that network around, then you click on connect there, and then you're already connected to that network. Then cost efficiency, setting up a wireless network can be much more cheaper than buying and installing what? Cables. Yes, as long as that place has established what you call the wireless access point somewhere. That is it all. All other devices, it is a matter of connecting. Connecting through just connecting, and they are able to access. But the other way, for the connection that is through cables, you have to buy those cables that you are going to use to connect those devices. Then expandability, we can easily expand our network whenever it is necessary. So it is very easy for us to expand our network. Why? Adding new devices to our wireless network is as easy as turning on the computer. So we are saying that that way, in case there is some new devices that I want to connect to my network, it's very simple. It is a matter of just getting that device, you get the connection setups, and that is it all. Then your network will be able to work out. All your devices will be connected to that network. So in case if you have some other devices still you want to connect, still the same thing. It's very simple. Just get that device, you understand the wireless wireless adapter, then you connect to the network. Let us move on to what you call the disadvantages of wireless network. We have issues of security threats. People, we should know that wireless connections are easily attacked. Now those people who are called crackers, hackers, and so on. All those members who think about disturbing networks, they overlake to disturb those wireless connections compared to those connections that are established through use of what you call cables. So attacking a network that is established through cables somehow very hard compared to that one is wireless. So there is that security threat. That's why there you can see I say that protecting your sensitive data with backups, isolates private networks, providing strong encryptions and passwords, all those things can be done, but still those encryptions, strong passwords, after they are bypassed by those people, then they access our network, pick information out of our network. So wireless connections are not very secure. Then we are saying signal interference. Most of the times signals that are transferred through space, they are disorganized by some interference such as buildings. In case the access point is placed at a particular point that is not raised very well, still signals may fail to come out very well to other devices that I need of those signals. So wireless connections are also disorganized by a number of interferences that may limit or that may disorganize the speed at which our network is able to work. We have what we call inconsistent connections. Wireless connections are not stable as those done through dedicated cables. Why? We are saying signals keep on fluctuating. When we are connecting, or when there is a connection that is through cables, in most cases signals are always at the stable moment compared to what we call the wireless connection, where signals they keep on fluctuating according maybe to the strength of the other accessing point and even some other factors that are available that can limit those signals to move at a particular level that is constant up to that device that is meant to use those signals. So just to know, that you may experience some inconsistent connections when you are using wireless compared to the situations when we are using physical connections. Let us move on now to another type of network. Another type of network is called the Metropolitan Area Network. Metropolitan Area Network is also referred to as MAN. Remember, we are through with the first one called LAN. Now let us talk about the second type of network called MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. Mind you, I told you in the beginning that those networks, difference that is there within those networks is about the distance or the geographic area that they are capable of what? Covering. So the MAN. Now I'm saying this is a network that spans or connects computers in a city, town, or urban what? Area. The other in the beginning I talked about LAN, and I told you that within maybe a computer room, an office, like that. Now I'm moving to the level we are saying that we up to the level of what you call a city, a town, or urban what? Area. We can use a very good example of our Kampala. Yes, we have a known authority there, KCC. Yes, KCC may think about managing their things through a network, and that network can be established within Kampala city. So, and you find that KCC may have offices within different places within that Kampala city. And those offices may wish to communicate to one another. Wish to ensure that those different offices within Kampala are able to communicate to one another. Such a network is called Metropolitan Area Network. That's why I'm saying that a network that interconnects computers that are within maybe a city, town, or urban area. It can also be a state. Yes. I'm saying that MAN usually covers a single geographic area, like a district, municipality, region, state, like that. Okay, let us try to move very fast to another part. The so-called another type of network is called the wide area network. What is a wide area network? So far we have seen it two, one, LAN and the MAN. Now the last one, the major one, is called the WAN. And I'm saying WAN, this is a network that spans or interconnects computers and local area networks across large geographical area on what you call global level. Yes. The largest type of network is called WAN. That's why I'm saying a network that interconnects computers and local area networks across a large geographical area using a number of transmission media. And this known internet, the so-called internet, even the internet we are using now, members, to access the lessons we are going through, is the world's largest one. The world's largest one. So that type of network that connects different computers and devices within what you call a large geographic area is referred to as WAN. Now, I also told you that we have other networks that we are going to always meet. But we should know that those networks, I told you, they have their origins from those three major ones: the WAN, the LAN, the MAN, and what? And WAN. For example, the home network, yes, the network that can be established there at home. We also have what you call the personal area network. A network that can be established around that individual who's using those devices can be with a computer, a printer, even some maybe a scanner somewhere. Then you make those one devices to communicate to one another as you are using them. There you are forming what you call the personal area network. But in common sense you find that it is a local area network, only that is those devices are established around that particular individual who is using those devices. That's why I'm saying that PAN usually interconnects a couple of people within some close what? It could be a couple of devices, within some close what? Range to the individual who is using them. Advantages of networking. Let us go through the advantages of networking. One, we are saying downsizing and reduced operational costs. The number of costs that we incur or that you can incur in case you are not using a network. Let us now go through them. One, it reduces. This one is it can be achieved through sharing devices like printers, saving in mind that all individual computers. The different printers that you can go through to buy for every individual within that organization can be minimized. There you are downsizing and reducing the operation costs. Why? You just buy one device, then that device can be shared by other members. 2, cheaper network software license than computer license for standalone computers. Cheaper network software. The cost you would incur to buy softwares that are made for every device, every computer within that organization can be minimized. You just buy a software and install that software on that server. Then other devices that are used by those members within that organization can share that software. That's why I'm saying cheaper network software license than computer license for standalone computers. There you are reducing the operational costs. Number 2, I'm saying it promotes cooperation amongst workers through sharing of file devices. Yes, members get to learn more skills of working with others. So cooperation, why? Because we share files, we can share devices in our organization. Better and improves communication and collaboration, which in turn fastens what you call decision making. So it improves what you call the communication process and collaboration amongst employees within that organization. Because the communication now we are doing it through the network, then we are able to get more skills of collaborating with one another as we are working. It eliminates what you call unnecessary time wasting through staff movements, moving from one place to another, struggling. In case you want to read out something, you have to move from where you are to a particular point. In case there is anything you want, you have to go to that office to look for it. All those things are controlled. Why? You can exchange all those things through your network. So it's a matter of having installations, then employees can remain at that point where they are supposed to work from, then they share everything through the network. Then it connects persons to the outside world and can keep organization well updated with happenings in the outside world. So you can see that people are able to communicate to one another even outside. Here in Uganda, within the internet, you can be able to talk to someone who is abroad just through network. For example, we have emails, we do it. We have different platforms such as WhatsApp and so on. Those are various things that are available because of networks that helps us to communicate to one another. Then Networking improves devices, data, and software security through administrative server software. So security to our data, to our information within organization can easily be achieved. Why? All our information is now stored on a server. So it's a matter of coming up with proper means of ensuring security on that information on that server. Then there's no need of struggling. Then you'll be able to manage the security to your information. Flexibility in file access, as users can log on to a computer from anywhere to access their files. These days, because of networks, there's no need of struggling to move with files from one point to another. The moment you attach your files on the network, at any point where you are, so long as you have access to that network, you can be able to access your files. These days, people are using emails to keep their files. So they just move up and down. As long as they access internet connection and log into their accounts, they can access their files and use them. So there's that called flexibility in file access. The networking improves data management and consistency. We are saying with computer network, data backups, storage, retrieval, and updates are easy. Why? Information is being managed from what you call one particular point that is established, and that one is called a server. In case there is a need to update that information, the moment you update that information or you make changes on that information that is on the server, it is automatic that all other members that are accessing information from that server will receive update or up-to-date information. Still, that in case there is any problem that you would like to rectify, a moment you do it on the server, there and then all other members that access information, they are able to enjoy it. Networks, they have also promoted research as a lot of information available on computer networks. Yes, you people, even where you are now, you can do a lot of research on internet. And one of the networks we are talking about is that internet you are using now. So these days, people, they are carrying out their research, and life is softened in line with research because of what? Networks, or because of that internet. There is what you call increased storage capacity. These days you have what you call online storages for our files and information. People are no longer struggling to come up with strong servers or strong established computers that can store a lot of information. These days people are enjoying online storage. Why? They are enjoying them because of networks. Okay. Let us finalize our discussion as we are going through the disadvantages of networks or networking. One, we are saying high initial installation and maintenance costs. Every time you think about to come up with a network, you have to think about extra costs you incur to buy those devices you use in the process of networking. I told you that you have a number of devices, for example, the communication devices that you will require, such as switches, hubs, and so on. You have to buy them if you have to establish that network. The servers, you have heard me talking about those ones. They need someone to incur some extra costs in case you think about establishing a network. That's why we are saying high initial installation and maintenance costs. Still, when the network is established, that's not the end of the story. The network has to be maintained so that it is effective. Don't say that I'm through with setting up the network and that's the end of everything. People are going to enjoy the service throughout. No. Then there is a risk of organizations work getting to a standstill in case of a network breaking down. In case our organization is totally dependent on what you call a network, any problem that is associated to that network, everything comes to standstill. You can agree with me that within the lessons we are going through, in case of a challenge with the network, that is our internet, everything comes to a standstill. Why? We are now depending on the network to carry out what? Lessons. In case that network has issues, we cannot go ahead. We also say that virus transmission, networks are good sources of what? Viruses. The number of files we exchange over networks in case our systems are not protected, chances are very high that as we are exchanging files, viruses are also being transferred from one point to another. So if you are connected to internet, you are busy downloading those files, in case your system is not protected, just know that you have high chances of getting viruses that are transferred over networks. We have the issue of what you call risk of information tapping and hacking. Lots of security measures and VLS are required to protect data kept on computer network. I talked about that issue, that you have a serious fear that members day after day they are thinking about ways they can use to attack networks. So our information that we exchange over network is on that risk of what you call being tapped or hacked by intruders. Okay, for today we are going to stop there. I want you to reflect over what we have so far gone through, even also to reflect over that food for thought I had to put there, saying that the window opening is blowing your dog back open. Feel your self-esteem basket so high that come rain or sunshine, nothing blows it. Yes, why? That statement is telling us that we need to think a lot that even if we are in for COVID holiday, we are being disorganized with what you call COVID, we should know that we should not give up. We are not supposed to give up. We are supposed to work very hard, go through all the lessons very well, get to understand what the teachers are teaching throughout. Please, as you are there at home, try to be good ambassadors to us. Yes, we are very happy that you people you are going through. We also think about means of ensuring that you don't lose, even if you are in for COVID. So with those few, until we meet again, I want to wish you a good day. I want to say a goodbye to all you.